So in this video I'm going to explain to you the real reason why Terminator Dark Fate is being made. And the first reason is it's really actually quite obvious. It's being made to attract more women. The producers need to attract more women to the customer base. So when they release promotional images like this, they're just trying to attract more women to buy tickets so the producers can make more money. So let's say the producers done some market research and they might find that 80% of all Terminator fans are male and only 20% are female. So if the producers can increase the number of female customers, they will make more money. If they can get 30% or 40% of all the customers are now female, that means they've increased their revenues by 20 or 30%. That is what they're trying to do. The producers are not interested in the artistic merits or the concept of Terminator anymore. It's just a cash cow that they're looking to use to attract more customers with. And this imagery is ridiculous. I mean, this one in the middle, she looks like a mixture between gaunt and muscular. And she's also carrying this stupid iron bar. It looks ridiculous. Now this character over here, she appears to be the main victim of this whole movie. And that's fine, we'll put that to one side. But Linda Hamilton, she looks ridiculous. I'm sorry, but she looks awful. And it's so staged. The costume design's been told to make Linda Hamilton look as tough and fearsome as possible. Yet it looks ridiculous. The only reason the producers have used this as a promotional image is to try and attract more women. They're hoping the women will see this and they're thinking, okay, great, I'm going to see Terminator. They're not interested in the story, they're not interested in the concept, they're not interested in anything about Terminator other than watching women shoot men with guns. That's all they're interested in. It's ridiculous. It's so stupid. But that is the first point. Now the second point I'll go into, and it's very controversial, and you might agree or disagree with me, but it's really a business sense. That is what the producers are doing. They're looking to make money and treat this franchise purely as a business. Now this is the main villain. Now when I first saw this villain, I wasn't actually sure what his nationality was. And that is a really specific reason why they've chosen this villain. And I'm going to go into a bit more detail. It looks so boring and so nonsensical. It's so frustrating. Is this the best they can do? Now the reason they're doing this, again I'll go into. Now this is another key point. So this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now what I hope they're not doing is just using a bit of fan service to attract Arnold Schwarzenegger fans into the box office so they can make money out of those fans, even though it's just in the movie for a few minutes. I would not be surprised at all if they do that. Now again, this looks ridiculous. This is Linda Hamilton firing a bazooka. And that's all they're trying to do with these movies, is make the explosions and the weapons 10% bigger. It's so frustrating, but there is a point which I'm going to go into, and this is quite controversial. But this is the main key point. So when you see this actor here, so this is Gabriel Luna, and he's the main villain. Now this is Hugh G, he's a Chinese actor. If you saw these two people from a distance, you wouldn't actually tell the difference between who they were. This certainly is nothing like Arnold Schwarzenegger, who's very, you might say, a white person, whether you might say is white American or European. He kind of almost has this mixed culture look about him, especially based on this image. If you saw this image, you might think that this person is perhaps Asian, where he might come from somewhere like the Philippines, or might be mixed race where he has a mixture of Asian and South American parentage. So that is why they've chosen this actor to play this role. And it's really based on this. This is the key point to why Terminator Dark Fate is being made. So Terminator 3 made $433 million. Terminator Salvation made $375 million. But zero of that money came from China. But now you look at Terminator Genesis, it made $440 million. But $113 million came from China. That is the whole point. That is who Terminator Dark Fate is being made for. Because if it wasn't for China, Terminator Genesis would have only made $327 million at the box office worldwide. That's less than Terminator 3 and Terminator Salvation. So the producers are looking for China. If the producers can get between $100 and $150 million out of China, they broke even. That's the whole key point. They're using China as their insurance policy. So they can make a terrible movie, they release it in China, they break even, then everything else around the world is profit. That is what the producers are doing with this franchise. And when they choose the lead actor to play the villain, they're looking for somebody who appears mixed race. Somebody who could be South American and somebody who could be Asian. That is what they're looking for. They're looking for a person who could represent Asian people and also other races. That is what they're doing with this franchise. The producers are looking to capitalise on China and give them as much money as possible from China, so everything else around the world is profit. So that is who this movie is being made for and why the producers are making this movie. They're making this movie to attract more women, which we saw with the opening image, which is so obvious, it's so blatant. But also at this point, China is now the new market for Terminator. Terminator Dark Fate is not made for you. The producers are not interested in you. They are making the movie for China. They're looking for the money from China, give them the insurance policy that covers the costs, then everything else is profit. So you are not supposed to be the target audience for Terminator Dark Fate. The audience for Terminator Dark Fate is China and Asia and South America, because they are new customers. This is a marketing exercise to expand the fan base for Terminator. Now, future Terminator movies might be different, but this particular movie is all about attracting new customers. The story is secondary. I don't think they're actually interested in the story whatsoever. It's like an advertising campaign. Terminator Dark Fate is an advertising campaign to attract more customers. That's all it is. Now, if you agree or disagree, please leave your comments below. But that is the truth. And the producers will look at this. The investors will look at this information. Not the story. It's this money-making information that they will look at. It's disgusting. Again, if you have any comments, please leave them below and also like and subscribe.